the talk is even better. So we've heard of UX, right? And we've heard of writing, but we've never heard of UX writing. That's what we're going to talk about next. So if you're enjoying it, hashtag WCMP post garo. There's also a chance to win prizes, right? So post garo hashtag WCMP. And then apart from that, if you're into accessibility, how you can make a website accessible and why making a website accessible is important. We have another talk going on about building inclusive websites. There's an auto room Apart from that, if you're here for workshop, if you want to extend WooCommerce to site plugin or extend WC, if you want to learn that, it's happening at the Gully Hall and Solori is leading that. So alright, next up we have from click to clarity, role of UX writing in WordPress website. To do that, I'm calling up on stage Dipendra Sunuwar, who is running an agency from 2016 at Bharatpur. So Kathmandu on the Bhaira, running an agency is already a big thing, and it's a risk-taking business. But he's been doing that since 2016, and when he's not doing that, he likes to play table tennis and cook. But don't expect him to cook today because he's here for work. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with a big round of applause, Dipendra Sunuwar.
Thank you so much, host Mr. Dai. And yeah, hello everyone. Namaste everyone. Today I am going to talk about something that rarely discussed and often goes unnoticed. So the topic of my session is from click to clarity, role of UX writing for WordPress website. Not just WordPress website, but for any kind of digital product. That could be website, mobile application, mobile app, screen, software, and even chatbot system. So today in my session, I'm going to explore how the writer can help website and any form of the digital product, not only functional, but also delightful and seamless experience for the user while interacting with them. So, and today's session, I'm going to cover this topic. So, firstly, I will start with introduction of UX writing. What is UX writing? And then I will talk about copywriting versus UX writing. What's the difference between them? And why does UX writing matter for any form of digital product? And definitely we will discuss on common UX writing mistakes with real world examples. And more importantly and more precisely, we will discuss on role of UX writing in WordPress website. This is the core of our topic. So let's get this started. And before getting started, a bit about myself. My name is Dipendra Sunuwar. I'm a co-founder and creative director at Design Technologies, and I have been working as UI/UX designer and WordPress developer equally from last 8 years. And I'm a WordPress enthusiast and I'm a design lover person. And yeah, this is my quick introduction, and you can check my short intro on this slide too. So, okay, let's get started. Are you excited? Okay. So, let's start with the basic. What exactly is UX writing? Have you heard this word before? Anyone? Okay. Alright. UX writing is actually part of UI/UX design, and especially UX design. UX design process. So it's the art of crafting a word or text or instruction or microcopy into interface of any form of digital product that help the user to understand, navigate, and provide a proper guideline to what to do for the next step or next action or next process. So this is the introduction of UX writing, and so basically UX writing is all the micro text, instruction, micro copy we will see on the interface. That is UX writing, and that includes all these things like button, menu items, notification, error messages, pop-up or modal box we especially see on the website or mobile application, and all the micro copies, tooltip, form placeholder and the label, and even small title phrases. All these are elements of the micro copy. So now I'm presenting one screenshot of pop-up modal box. This is actually a screenshot of pop-up modal box. Here we can see small title, text or phrases, form placeholder labels, pop-up, and actually this is pop-up modal box, and button label, and other instruction line or any instruction line or guidance you can see here. Actually, this is the elements of UX writing. This is the actually UX writing elements on any interfaces. So the main goal of UX writer is to guide user through the digital product in very clear, concise, and understandable way. So that is the main goal of UX writing. So by now we have understanding of what is UX writing. Now let's move to copywriting versus UX writing. What's the difference between copywriting and UX writing? And many developers, designers, project managers, and even stakeholders assume that microcopy of the digital product or text or instruction can be written by copywriter, or can be written by the copywriter. That job can be handled by the copywriter. But that is not effective for the better user experiences, effective user experiences. So these jobs should be handled by copywriter or understanding of the copywriting principles. So here I'm going to discuss what's the difference between them. So let's dive in. Copywriter use spicy or sexy word to attract more customers, or especially new customer, whereas the UX writer use very simple word to explain the things on user interface. That is the core difference between them. So copywriter primarily focus on marketing and advertising to drive the conversion, more sales, and brand awareness, whereas the UX writer mainly focuses on improve the usability, accessibility, and overall user satisfaction. This is the other difference. And copywriter closely work with marketing team, brand managers, and creative directors, whereas UX writer closely work with UX designer, product manager, and the product developer. This is the other difference. And copyright writes macro copy, especially advertisement copy, email campaign copy, social media post content, and landing page content and product description. Whereas UX writer writes a micro level of the content, that is error messages copy, button labels, tooltip, onboarding content, onboarding flows, and the navigation instruction. That is the main job of UX writer. And copywriter success is measured by the conversion rate, click-through rate, engagement metrics, and total sales. Whereas UX writer success measured by the user satisfaction, task completion rate, task completion rate, and overall improvement of usability and accessibility. Copyright tells the story to drive more sale to landing a customer, whereas UX writer share the conversation between the user and user and their particular product. This is the examples of UX writing and copywriting. Here we can see copywriting examples. Here, this is the flash offer, that kind of job handled by copywriter. Whereas UX writer writing a form in the accessible and understandable way. We can see here the examples. So this is the examples of copywriting and UX writing. So now let's talk about, by now we have understanding of what's the difference between copywriting and UX writing, what they do, their roles and responsibilities. Now let's talk about why does UX writing matter. So before dive into this topic, I want to ask a quick question for all of you. Have you ever been confused on website or mobile application just because of unclear text or instruction? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. All right. You are not alone. In fact, this happens for everyone. So, in this section, we will discuss how UX writing importance for any form of digital product. So, let's begin. For the clarity and understanding. Clarity and understanding is the core of UX writing. When user or visitor visit a website or mobile application, they need to understand where they are, what they can do, and how to do that without guessing too hard So when we use a clear and understandable text, it reduces friction, confusion, and that ensure user to don't have to pay deep attention, deep guessing to complete the next action or the process. So here I am presenting one examples for setting up the new password. Here we can see the instruction. Use at least 8 characters with the letters, number, and symbol. This instruction provides us a clear guideline what we need to do for setting up the new password. But when it compared to this generic instruction, invalid password, this is the lack of the instruction. Invalid password, but we don't know what's the reason. So the above instruction line is more helpful than this generic error instruction. So let's move to another importance. Another importance of UX writing is for maintaining the consistency throughout the interface. So when we use the same word, tone, its style across the interface, it helps user to feel familiar, comfortable, and confident. So here I am presenting another examples. Here we can see the destination page, home page, source page, booking page, confirmation page. But for the instruction line and guidance text, we can see here each and every page has different tone and style. For example, for the home page, This is actually the examples of home rental system. And for the home page, find a place to stay. This is another tone of, this is the one tone of instruction line. For the another example, another page, browse rental. This is the different tone. And for another booking page, choose your accommodation. So where here we can see stay, rental, accommodation, different tones in same platform. That confuse the user. So this is the inconsistent use writing that confuse user and it increase the friction rate for the user. So the better approach would be like for the home page, we can use find your stay. For the searching page, explore your stays. And for the booking page, book your stay. And for the confirmation page, your stay is confirmed. Here we can see the stay tone is similar for the all touch point, all the pages. So it maintains the consistency. That helps user to clear instruction. So the maintaining the consistency for the user is so much important, and that provided by the better UX writing approach. So another important is increase the conversion and engagement. So when we build a website, when we make the website, our ultimate goal is to make the more sales. We make the website that isn't just for looking good and elegant. To be honest, our ultimate goal is to make the more sales. If we have the blog website, our main goal is to engage the more customer to that content. And if we have the e-commerce website, our main goal is to make more sales and more purchase. And for the job application, job portal, our main goal is to apply the more jobs from that platform. For that case, clear and simple text or label can motivate and guide user to explore feature of that particular platform or product and boost engagement with that product. So here I am presenting one examples of Google hotel booking. Here we can see this is actually the previous UI of Google hotel booking. Here we can see book a room button label. And now Google hotel booking has changed the button label. Check availability. After switching the button label from the book or room to check availability, Google hotel increased the conversion rate by 70%. Just clicking the buttons from book a room to check availability, Google has increased its sales or conversion rate by 70%. So another examples, another UX writing importance. UX writing supports accessibility. When we make the websites, that isn't just for a few people. That product is for everyone. So when we write text instruction or guidance in simple language, everyone can handle or use that software or product efficiently, easily. So clear writing support differently able people, improve everyone's experience and help the person who rely on screen reader and assist people properly. So the UX writing is also much more important to support accessibility. Another UX writing importance is reduce user error. When user make the mistakes, that mistake, this is not often there are mistakes. That is the mistakes by that platform. That platform didn't guide them properly. So the clear and helpful UX writing can prevent error before that error happens. So the UX writing reduces the user error. So the UX writer supports localization. Not everyone understands the language or the culture in the same way. Good UX writing makes the product easy to use for all the people from all the places, region and the culture. Here I am presenting some examples here. The date format used in the US is different from the Europe and Asia. And the clock system we use in the US is a 12 clock hour system, but in the Europe, major platform use 24 clock hour systems. And some country often asks surname first on any kind of the form before the first name. So we need to care about these things also, and that improve by the better understanding of UX writing. So we have talked about why does UX writing, how it helps for user to clear, reduce error, and for accessibility and usability for that particular product. Now let's talk about common UX writing mistakes with some examples. Using a jargon and technical terms and technical savvy board is another mistake done by major designer and developers. Here I am presenting one example. Error 503 service unavailable. This is very technical and unhelpful for the normal users. So every user is not a technical person. After all, users are the less technical person, so we have to care about for all the people. So the better approach for this error message could be, can't connect right now, we are performing a maintenance, please check back later or contact support. This is the simple, friendly and provide the next step for the user what he or she need to do for the handling this situation. So the solution is, we have to use simple and everyday language that every user, every level of the user can easily understand. So the returning future tense is another mistake made by multiple designers and site owners. Here I am presenting one example. You will receive a confirmation email. That is, it seems like good, but the mistake is it has a lack of instant action, and it increases the doubt, it creates the doubt and confusion. So the better approach would be, we have sent a confirmation email, please check your inbox. That is actionability and it has clarity. So the solution for this is, use the present or past tense to clearly show what's happening to that process, to that action, to that task, and what the user should do for the next step to complete that process. So another mistake is returning passive voice. Here I am presenting one examples and error has encountered. It seems like okay, but it has a lack of clarity. Who encountered this problem? And what's the real issues? And returning passive voice, reducing the human connection between user and that product. So the better approach would be, we found an error, please try again and let's fix it. It is a direct to the human and focus to to the users. So the solution would be returning in active voice is much better because it is more direct, has more clarity, and the sentences are usually shorter if we use in active voice. So another mistake is